Are you doing everything right, eating clean, working out, maybe even taking supplements, but still feeling inflamed, foggy, or just off? Well, I used to feel that way too, and it took me way too long to figure out that the problem wasn't my effort. It was a ratio, a tiny little number that was silently wrecking my health from the inside out. The average American has a 25 to 1 omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in their body right now. You know what the ideal is? 3 to 1. That gap, that single number, is linked to chronic inflammation, brain fog, joint pain, heart disease, and most high achievers I know have absolutely no idea that this is happening to them right now. Hey, guys, I'm May, aka Money May, like the month. And if you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about heart, health, and hustle because I genuinely believe that if you want to build something great in business, you have to build something great in your body first. Today, we're talking about something I wish someone had explained to me years ago, which is called the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. I know, sounds super nerdy, right? But hey, stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to look at your cooking oils, your snacks, even your salad dressing completely differently. Now, if you're here because you're attending one of my wellness workshops, hey, I see you. This video is your primer, so make sure you watch this first. And when we get together, you'll have all the foundation that you're going to need in order to be successful. So you're going to be ahead of the game. Now, if you found this on YouTube, hi, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. Okay, real talk. How many of you are genuinely putting in the work, hustling hard, managing your health, right, your fitness, but still feel like your body is working against you? Brain fog at 2 p.m. and no amount of coffee can fix it. Joints that feel stiff when you wake up, that low-grade fatigue that just lingers. Drop me in the comments if you can relate. Here's what I learned. A lot of that is inflammation. And inflammation, in a huge part, is driven by one ratio being completely overlooked and out of whack. So let's break it down for real. First, what even is omega-6 and omega-3? Both are what we call essential fatty acids that you have to get from your food. And when I say essential, I mean your body literally cannot make them on its own. So it's that serious. There's no shortcuts. You got to be eating the right food sources. Let's start with omega-3s. You've probably heard of these. They come from salmons, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. These are anti-inflammatory fats. They support your brain, protect your heart, help your joints, and even affect your mood and your focus. Omega-6s also are essential. Yes, they are important, but, and this is a big but, we are getting way too much of omega-6s. They're basically in every processed food, every fast food restaurant, even fancy restaurants. Here's the kicker. Most of the cooking oils sitting in your kitchen right now are chock full of omega-6s. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Omega-6 and omega-3 compete for the same enzymes in your body. Think of it like a tug of war. When you have way more omega-6 than omega-3, the omega-6 wins. When omega-6 wins, it produces inflammation, right? Those inflammatory signals chronically, constantly throughout your body. What you measure, you get to improve. And right now, most of us aren't even measuring this, myself included back in the day. So what's the ideal ratio? Well, researchers say we should be somewhere between a 1-to-1, that's perfect and balanced, all the way up to a 3-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. Beyond that is called the danger zone. Now, where does the average American sit? 25 to 1. You know what that means, guys? Now, I'm not a mathematician, but that means we are getting 25 times more inflammatory fat than anti-inflammatory fat every single day. Now, here's where it gets really real for my overachievers. Stress, the kind that comes from building a business, chasing big goals, managing literally everything, a family, right? All the things that can actually increase the inflammation in your body on its own. Your cortisol goes up, inflammatory pathways activate. Your body is already in a state of low grade alert, right? That fight or flight. So if your diet is fueling more inflammation on top of that, your body is fighting a two-front war. No wonder you're tired. No wonder you're foggy. So, the good news, and there is very good news, is that this is completely fixable and it starts with knowing what to look for, right? I'm a big advocate for measuring and not guessing. Okay. So, this is a part where I want you to actually, if you can pause the video, go to your kitchen, like right now, if you can, seriously, I want you to open up the cabinets and look at your oils. What do you have? Make a list. Potentially vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, corn oil. And you can just, it doesn't have to be oil. Just look at the ingredients of your foods, right? Cottonseed oil, grapeseed oil, right? These aren't bad per se. I mean, I guess it depends on your, school of thought that you're part of, but these are what researchers are calling out as seed oils. And they are loaded with omega-6, disproportionately loaded, and they are in basically everything. Now let's take a look at your salad dressing, seed oils, mayonnaise, right? The seed oils, hey, that protein bar you grab because guess what? It was a bit easier to, rather than meal prep. It had a green label and it said healthy, it said natural. Let's check the ingredients. Most times, what does it have? Seed oils. What about that restaurant food? Didn't have time to prep again, right? Your busy day, back to back appointments, driving across town, right? Seeing clients, prospecting, networking, right? Almost across the board, guess what they have? Seed oils. Because they are cheaper and they have a longer shelf life. Now, I'm not here to vilify any one food or create fear around eating. That's not my style. I'm about awareness, not perfection, right? Because awareness is the agent of change. So I invite you to stop guessing and let's start measuring. The first step is just knowing. About 60% of your brain is fat, and a significant portion of that fat is omega-3, especially a type called DHA. So when your omega-3 levels are low, your brain literally does not have the building blocks it needs to function at its best. What happens to your memory, your focus, your mood, your decision making, all of that gets affected. So for my entrepreneurs and high achievers out there watching this, your brain is your most valuable business asset, not your laptop, not your to-do list, not your calendar. It's your brain. And if you're running it on a 25-to-1 ratio, or God forbid, even higher, guys, believe it or not, I've actually had some clients test over 40-to-1 or even closer to 60-to-1. Now, if you're vegan or vegetarian, I've seen that go as high as 100-to-1. You are leaving performance on the table every single day. Motion drives emotion, but the right nutrition drives everything. Now, if you're testing there, imagine if you have kids where they are testing. Yes, we even see kids testing at dangerously high levels of omega-6 to omega-3 these days, unfortunately, thanks to the modern diet. So, real quick pause. If you're getting value from this, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content, and that means this information reaches more people who need it. And consider subscribing if you haven't. I post every Wednesday as part of my Wellness Wisdom series, and this is exactly the kind of thing we dig into together. So if you're curious to check that out, or my 90-day transformation recaps where I peel back the curtain on my journey to six-pack abs and the thriving business that builds at scale, check those out on Mondays. Now, workshop friends, this is a great moment to jot down any questions you want to bring to our session. I want to hear what's coming up for you. Now, let's get into my favorite part, which is the fix. You do not need to overhaul your entire life. I promise. You just need to start shifting the ratio. And no, that doesn't mean stop eating omega-6s altogether, which is silly advice that I've heard in this industry. Let me give you the exact swaps I personally use. Swap number one, your cooking oil. Replace vegetable oil, canola oil, and soybean oil with extra virgin olive oil. And be mindful, what's the brand, right? Not all of them are created equal. Now, especially you want to use extra virgin olive oil for low to medium heat cooking because it does have a lower smoking point. Avocado oil for high heat, it has a higher smoke point, obviously. And then, of course, we've got coconut oil, which you can use occasionally. These have a much more balanced fatty acid profile. So same swap, massive difference over time. Now, swap number two, add omega-3 rich foods consistently. right? Now, I have a easier way to do this, and if you're curious what that is, let me know. But if you just want to be, kind of doing this on your own, you do not have to eat salmon every single day. But you do want to aim for 2 to 3 times a week minimum, and I recommend wild caught options. Other easy options could be sardines. These are budget friendly, wildly nutrient dense, and honestly underrated. But again, consistency is key. Just because you have it from time to time doesn't mean that you're set. Chia seeds is another option, especially in your smoothies or oatmeal. You won't even taste them. I personally love chia seeds. Walnuts is another go-to option instead of chips. Now, be mindful they do have a higher fat content if you are macro tracking. Flaxseed meal, you can literally add this to anything, oatmeal, smoothies, and baked goods. Okay, so those are some options. Now, be mindful because they could also have omega-6. So just because these are omega-3 sources doesn't mean that you're being brought into balance. Now, swap number 3, read your labels, right? The nutrition facts. If one of the first 3 ingredients is soybean oil, canola oil, or vegetable oil, either put it back, I recommend, or be really intentional about how much of it you're consuming. This is not about guilt, it's about information. Now, if you do end up coming to one of my wellness series or wellness workshops, you'll get to see a hack on how you don't have to be perfect and still eat those foods that you really enjoy, right? So consider coming to my workshop if you would like to know. Swap number 4, consider a quality omega-3 supplement, guys. Now, this is a little bit controversial. If you follow me, maybe you know, right? Or you're coming to my wellness workshop, okay? So if overhauling your diet feels like too much right now, that's totally valid. I get it. You're probably an overachiever, a busy entrepreneur, a busy mom, right? And a quality fish oil supplement can help shift that ratio while you work on the food piece. However, you don't want to just look for one that has a high EPA or DHA content because unfortunately, most of them, did you know 1 out of every 5 bottles sold in the marketplace is rancid? So as always, if you're going to be looking into a supplement regimen, maybe a good idea to check with your doctor. But if you want to know what I use, consider coming to one of my wellness workshops or feel free to leave a comment and I'm happy to help. Now, guys, that is 4 swaps. So pick one to start with. Just one. Let's keep it simple. Okay, because transformation doesn't happen all at once. It happens one intentional decision at a time. Okay, so guys, let's bring it home. Here's what we covered today. Omega-6 and omega-3 are both essential, but we are getting way too much omega-6 and nowhere near enough omega-3. The ideal ratio is 3 to 1. The average American is at 25 to 1. Where could you be? Put it in the comments if you know, or if you're, want to guess. That imbalance drives chronic inflammation. Most times it's silent. That affects your energy, your brain, your joints, and your long-term heart health, which can potentially lead to premature death. The biggest hidden source of omega-6 is seed oils, hiding in processed foods and restaurants. And the fix is simpler than you think. Start with one swap, right? From this video, you can take a look at my suggestions. Because remember, what you measure, you get to improve. And now you know what to measure. If you are a workshop attendee, I genuinely cannot wait to see you in person on our workshop and go even deeper on this together. So bring your questions. In fact, hey, bring a guest, someone you care about. Now, if they're health conscious or maybe they're a health professional, such as a fitness trainer, a naturopath, even better. We are going to have so much fun together. Now, if you found this video on YouTube, hi, thank you for being here. Drop a comment below and tell me what is one oil or food in your kitchen right now that might be throwing off your ratio. I read every single comment. If you'd like an invite to an upcoming wellness workshop, feel free to put a request in. If this was helpful, please share it with a friend who's maybe feeling exhausted, a colleague who can't focus, or a family member who thinks vegetable oil sounds healthy because it says vegetable. Guys, I'm May with Heart, Health, and Hustle, and I will see you next Wednesday where transformation becomes a lifestyle.